Hello everyone, welcome to your physics class of class 7th. I hope you all will be fine. Students, today in this video we will start lesson number 1. Okay, so let's begin our class. Lesson number 1, physical quantities and measurement. Okay. In class 6th, you have already learned the measurement of 4 basic quantities that are length, mass, time and temperature. Now what is measurement? Measurement is a process of comparison of the given unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity of the same kind called the unit. Suppose you need to find out the length of this line segment AB, that is an unknown quantity. For finding the length of this line segment AB, you need a fixed known quantity, that is a scale. Okay, you know that the values on this scale, that is here 0, 1, 2, 3, these values are fixed on this scale. So this is an known quantity. Okay, this is a known quantity. So by comparing this unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity of the same kind, that is known as, this process is known as measurement. Okay, so what is measurement? Measurement is a process of comparison of the given unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity of the same kind called the unit. Now the magnitude of the quantity is expressed as number of times the unit is contained in the quantity multiplied by unit. You have already learned about this in class 6th. First one is length. What is length? Length is the distance between 2 points and its SI unit is meter and it is measured with the help of a meter ruler or a measuring tape. Mass is a quantity of matter contained in a body and its SI unit is kilogram and it is measured with the help of a beam balance or an electronic balance. Time. Time is the interval of occurrence of an event. Its SI unit is second and it is measured with the help of a watch, and for a short time intervals we need to measure it with the help of a stopwatch or a stop clock. Okay. Then temperature. Temperature is a quantity which measures the hotness or coldness of a body, and we measure temperature with the help of a thermometer and its SI unit is Kelvin. Okay. Now in this chapter we will study about measurement of volume, density and speed. Now what is volume? The space occupied by an object is called its volume. Means the space that that an object occupy is known as its volume. Okay. All solids, liquids and gases occupy space. Okay. As all these three are the states of matter and matter occupies space, therefore all solids, liquids and gases occupy space. Now this can be demonstrated by this activity. Take a glass tumbler, paste a paper strip on it. What you have to do? You have to take a glass tumbler and then you have to paste a paper strip on it, as you can see here in this figure. Then pour some water in this tumbler. Okay, and mark the level of water as A. Now take a piece of a stone. Okay, take a piece of a stone and tie it with a string, and then suspend this stone in this glass tumbler. Now what you will observe after suspending the stone? You will observe that the level of water has risen. Okay, after uh, this stone is suspended in this water in the glass tumbler, the level of water rises up. Okay, so this was level A, so the water level rises up till here, and suppose this point be B. Now it suggests that the piece of stone has displaced water equal to its volume. This piece of stone has displaced water according to its volume, equal to its volume, because it has occupied space in water. Understood? If we say that a brick is bigger than a matchbox, we mean that suppose this is a brick and this is a matchbox. So if we say that brick is bigger than a matchbox, we mean that the volume occupied by the brick is more than that occupied by the matchbox. Similarly, if we say that a school hall is bigger than a classroom, we mean that volume of air in the empty hall is more than the volume in the empty classroom. Okay. Now SI unit of volume. Cubic meter is a SI unit of volume and it can be written as meter cube. And 1 cubic meter is the volume of a cube with each side 1 meter. Means volume, this SI unit 1 cubic meter is equal to the volume of a cube, okay, with each side 1 meter long. Now other units of volume are cubic centimeter, okay, and 1 cubic centimeter is the volume of the cube with each side of 1 centimeter long. That is 1 centimeter cube is equals to centimeter multiplied by centimeter multiplied by 1 centimeter. Relationship between meter cube and centimeter cube can be derived as, you know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. Therefore 1 meter cube is equals to 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter, and as 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, therefore 300 here 100 meter, this 100 centimeter, this 1 meter to into 100 centimeter, and now this, but for this 1 meter also 100 centimeter. Therefore the total number of zeros are 6. Therefore 1 meter cube is equals to 10 raised to the power 6 centimeter cube. This is a relationship between 1 meter cube and centimeter cube. Okay, now the volume of liquids is generally expressed in liters, symbol as L. 1000 centimeter cube make 1 liter, that is 1 liter is equals to 1000 centimeter cube, and there hence 1 centimeter cube is equals to 10 raised to the power minus 3 liter, or we can simply say 1 milliliter. And this is relationship between 1 milliliter and centimeter cube. Now do you know this box? Sometimes the word capacity is used to express the volume of a vessel or container. Means word capacity can also be used in place of volume to express the volume of a vessel or a container. We often say that the capacity of water tank is 250 liter. This statement means that water tank can store a maximum volume of water equal to 250 liter. Okay. Second, sometimes cubic decimeter is also used as a unit of volume, and 1 decimeter cube is equals to 1 liter. Third, cubic centimeter can also be written in short as C dot C. Okay. Now vessels for measuring the volume of liquids. How can we find out the vessels by which we can find out the volume of liquids? To measure the volume of a liquid such as water, milk, oil, etc., we generally use the following two kinds of vessel. They are measuring cylinder and measuring beaker. Now what is measuring cylinder? It is a cylinder generally of area of cross section 10 centimeter cube, 10 centimeter square, made up of either glass or plastic. This cylinder can be measuring cylinder can be made either of glass or plastic. It is of length nearly 10 centimeter, graduated in centimeter cube, with its zero mark at the bottom, and 100 marks at the top. Okay. Thus, it is of the capacity 100 centimeter cube. Okay. This is a measuring cylinder. It is generally used in laboratories to measure the volume of liquids and also to find the volume of an irregular object by measuring the displacement of water or liquid by the object. Means with the help of this measuring cylinder, we measure the volume of liquids that are used in laboratories, and also we can find out the volume of an irregular object by the displacement of water or liquid by the object. Big measuring cylinders of volume 200 ml and 500 ml are also available. Now figure number 1.4 shows the other form of measuring cylinder. You can see here this is another form of measuring cylinder which is used by pharmacists to measure the liquid medicines. Okay. Now measuring beaker. A measuring beaker is generally used to measure a fixed volume of a liquid such as milk, oil, lubricating oil, etc. Thus they are available in different capacities as 50 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, 500 ml, 1000 ml. As you can see here in this figure, different measuring beakers are measuring beakers with different capacities are available. The capacity of a beaker is marked on it and it is provided with a handle to hold it. You can see here handles of these measuring beakers. Okay. Now, measurement of volume of a liquid. How we measure the volume of a liquid? By using a measuring cylinder. A measuring cylinder is used in laboratory to measure the volume of a given liquid. And how we will measure? First, take the measuring cylinder, wash it with water, and then dry it. Now, place the measuring cylinder on a flat surface and then pour the given liquid completely into the measuring cylinder gently, so that no liquid splashes out of the cylinder. Okay, so gently pour the liquid of whose and volume is to be measured. So pour that liquid in this measuring cylinder. Wait for some time till the liquid becomes stationary in the cylinder, and you will notice that the meniscus, that is the upper surface of the liquid, is curved when the liquid becomes stationary. Read the level of liquid in measuring cylinder by keeping your eye horizontally in line with the lower surface of the liquid. As you can see here in this figure, by keeping your eye in the horizontal position with the lower surface of the liquid, you can find out the volume of this liquid. Here it is 70 ml. Now, by using a measuring beaker is used to measure a fixed volume of liquid from a large volume. Suppose it is required to measure 500 ml of milk from the milk contained in a bucket. Okay, for this, take a measuring beaker that is of 500 ml capacity. Okay, and then immerse this beaker completely in this bucket, so that the beaker gets completely filled with milk. Now take out the measuring beaker and pour this milk in another empty vessel. This is how you can measure 500 ml of milk. Now, measurement of volume of regular objects. We can find the volume of regular objects by using these relations, as volume of cube is equals to side cube, volume of cubite is equals to L into B into H, volume of a sphere is equals to 4 upon 3 pi r cube, then volume of cylinder pi r square H, and volume of cone is equals to pi upon 3 r square H. Okay, where the value of pi is 3.14 or 22 upon 7. So by using these relations, we can find the volume of regular object. Now, measurement of volume of an irregular body. The volume of a solid or irregular shape can be measured by using a measuring cylinder by the method of displacement of liquid. We know that each body occupies space equal to its own volume, and therefore, if a body of irregular shape is immersed in a liquid, it displaces the volume of liquid equal to its own volume, so as to occupy the space of the liquid. As I already explained you in activity A, in first activity, that when the level of water in this beaker is A, and after immersing this irregular object of irregular shape in this beaker, it uh, it displaces the water equal to its own volume, and therefore the level rises to B, to position B. So by this we can find out the volume of an irregular body. Volume of body of irregular shape is equals to volume of liquid displaced by the body when it is immersed completely into the liquid. To find the volume of the displaced liquid, we note the initial level of the liquid in the measuring cylinder, and then the level of the water or liquid after immersing the given body completely into the liquid, and the difference between the final level of from the initial level gives the volume of the liquid displaced, which is equal to the volume of the given irregular body, as you can see in this activity number 2. Take a piece of stone, a measuring cylinder, and a fine thread of sufficient length. Now place the measuring cylinder on a flat horizontal surface, okay, and fill it with water. Fill it partially with water. Note the reading V1 of water level very carefully. Now tie a piece of stone with a thread and dip it completely into the water. We see that the level of water rises, and when the level of water rises to suppose V2, by finding out the difference between these two volumes, we can find out the volume of this irregular body. Here you can see in this figure, initially the level of water V1 is here 60 ml, and after immersing the stone in this measuring cylinder, the level rises to 80 ml. Okay, therefore, by taking the difference of between these two volumes, that is volume of water displaced is equals to V2 minus V1, that is 80 ml minus 60 ml. Therefore, the volume of piece of stone is 20 centimeter cube, as we know that 1 ml is equals to 1 centimeter cube. Note, the volume of an empty vessel like a bottle can be found by filling it completely with water and then pouring the water in a clean measuring cylinder. This is how we can find out the volume of an empty vessel. Okay, so this was your explanation for the measurement of volume. In homework, you have to read this lesson up to here, and for further explanation, I will give you in the next video. Okay, thank you.